All right, let's move on. These are the top 5 players overall that you have, VMAC. What about the top 5 receivers? Let's narrow it down now just a little bit here.
Okay, we transition to the offensive side. We have big-time playmakers.
You only had 2 offensive players on your top 5 list, so let's see if we gotta have more here. You gotta have 5.
I better have all offensive players if we talk about wide receivers. But when you look at wide receivers, starting with the 5th guy right here, you look at a guy that can be a difference maker. He may not be the household name, but Zay Jones, he made a lot of execs, scouts, and coaches' eyes open big time at the combine there in Mobile. I think he has a chance to really, improve in this draft. I'm not considering him to be a first-round draft pick, but clearly he's the guy that has much value in the 2nd round. I love Zay Jones. I think he's going to be a big-time playmaker in the pros.
Okay, number 4, what do you think?
Number 4, when you transition from Zay Jones, you go to the Big Ten, Curtis Samuel. I mean, he's a Mr. Do-It-All. He's like a joystick. He can do a lot. He can carry the football. You can put him in the backfield. You can put him in the slot. You can put him on the edge. You can put him as a returner. He has the ability to do everything you would want an offensive player to do. And when I look at Curtis Samuel, I consider him to be a bigger Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
A bigger, physical, stronger Brandon Cooks. And if that's true on the next level, look out.
Those are some big shoes to fill, Curtis Samuel. Number 3.
Well, number 3, as we get down to the heavy hitters, Curtis Samuel, very, very fast player. John Ross is the fastest player. Speed, speed, speed. I understand you talk about the durability issues he's had. Of course, he's been injured quite a bit. He's not a big guy, around 5'11", 188 pounds. But one thing you can't coach is speed. When you turn on the tape, you see a guy that creates separation from the opposing defenders. He's a guy that I think will be a first-round draft pick also.
Okay, let's go to number 2 and number 1 here.
Number 2 is a guy didn't play at a blue blood university, but when you turn the tape, Mr. Corey Davis made plays. One-hand catches, the routine two-hand catches, 2 feet inbounds. Oddly enough, he was not able to perform at the combine because of injury. He didn't run the 40, but regardless, when you turn the tape, you see a guy that's extremely fast, a smart, physical wide receiver. I think he's the 2nd best wide receiver in this draft.
So you have 2 guys that you're saying are not household names here and 2 guys that are. So do you think the level of competition matters at the college level when you're heading into the pros?
It does, but when you look at some of the other guys I have on this list, these guys were doing it on a big stage consistently. Anytime you turn the TV on a nationally televised game, you saw guys like Curtis Samuel stand up big time, John Ross, especially the success they had as a team there in Washington.
Okay, number 1. Your number 1 overall wide receiver that will be taken in the 2017 NFL Draft is
Mike Williams. Mike Williams, not only is he a champion, he's an outstanding player from the individual standpoint. I just was talking to one of my friends that coaches on the Tennessee Titans. He said he had an opportunity to really sit in person with Mike Williams, a stand-up guy, a well-respected individual. But when you turn the tape, you see a guy that loves the game of football. He's a big-time wide receiver, around 6'4", 220, runs every route in the route tree. I mean, his catch radius is unbelievable. I think he will be the first wide receiver to come off the board tomorrow night.